Hello, all of you adventuring beings, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is The Last Hope Scar, Season 1, Episode 15, Wedding Bells Aftermath. This is one of our Pokemon tabletop RPGs, which is running with the Scar system, formerly known as the Rouse system. We've had to rename it, so the new name is Scar, or Stories and Critters in Alternate Realities. Sorry, Stories and Creatures in Alternate Realities. But yeah, this is a playtest system, so things will be changing from one week to the next, or most likely changing. But yeah, this episode's alternate title is Hunter's Requiem. So let's go ahead and get started with introductions. Beginning with my darling love that definitely would not want to make me cry or upset me in any way or anything like that. Kerr.
BS. Hello, everyone. I am Kerr. I am the Storyteller. I am here to bring happy fun times to everybody. You get happy fun times. You get happy fun times. Everyone gets happy fun times.
I'm
Rejoice!
thrilled. I am so thrilled. Can't you just hear the excitement?
And I am
Applaud me!
Oh, that absolutely did not come over the micro whatsoever.
Sorry, go ahead, Brussel.
Oh, my heart's really not in this.
Oh! The new card was already played.
I did not get any sound effect for that one.
I forgot to turn on the pass-through. There it is.
Okay, making sure.
I am Tochemay, and I am playing Brussel, the one who's going to break things.
Baby! He is so baby!
Also looked suave in the chair.
Cobalt?
Alright, I am Cobalt, and I'm Octo, and I'm playing Cobalt, the roughest, toughest really around.
Baby.
And it's definitely, I don't know, maybe get murdered, I don't know, by Marie.
I am Razim, and I am playing as Hunter, the dark psychic type, probably going to be a ghost type soon, if he's even allowed to persist that far. Puchiana.
Just think of it as a new evolution.
Yeah. He's gonna get so murdered, he's gonna evolve into a ghost type. Yeah. But yeah! He's the shy bundle of social anxiety who has made a big mistake thinking he was doing something good.
I am Foxfiend. I am playing Kin, the fire-type Vulpix, who last session watched his one of his ships go up in flame, and is dreading the next week if the party lives that long in game time, as he has no idea what to expect now with Marie's mood, and it has half a mind to flee the country and take on a new name.
I am Merl, and I am playing Midnight, the dark type Zora, who is returning from cardboard cutout status and already seeing his life flash before his eyes.
Don't you just
No.
love being associated with this group?
You know, it's William Swiftfoot or Kenku. Play Shale, the grass ground. Stand true. And it's completely confused on the entire panic with this situation. But anyway.
It's a lot of drama. By the way, Cobalt, you are not in Fantasy Grounds as of yet.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. Being really slow, and updates is also slowing me down.
Cool.
By the way, Tochemay? Did you send me outfits for Brussel? I don't see any in the chat.
Yeah, I don't think Tochemay's posted outfit ideas for for what you were talking about for the DLC outfits.
Well, then I need those, and I also need a 4th outfit for Midnight and for the 4th outfit for both Brussel and Midnight, then. Just post them in the chat, and we'll go ahead and move on with the recap. You know, it was Cobalt's love for Marie that started us down this dark path, so let's have Cobalt do the recap.
Okay, so yeah. So after the group found out about Marie being she is safe, she just apparently went to her wedding with what was that guy's name again?
Yeah.
Koga.
The group decided to at this point to at least attend the wedding. And as during this, while searching for Marie, I know Cobalt was trying to pretty much start a revolution a little bit, but it didn't work out. And also at this point, the group is pretty much fearing for their lives right now because well, a certain someone decided to say they object to the wedding. That's totally not on me.
Why would you fear for your lives? Why would you fear for your lives? I don't understand.
We only just ruined what's supposed to be the happiest day of Marie's life.
For the second time.
For the second time.
Truly,
You did kind of leave out that, you know, getting clothes and Domino messing with everyone.
Oh yeah, and of course Domino causing
Okay.
issues.
Are you guys not hearing the audio
Oh,
pass?
I heard it. I heard it.
Actually,
Sorry.
I heard that one.
I didn't hear it. Sorry.
Do make sure that you let it go through, because having you talk over it kind of doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No worries. I do things. Thank you so much for that tip. Thank you for supporting the channel and keeping these streams coming. I can't do it without you guys. But carry on with what you were saying there.
We finished up, I think.
Yeah, we pretty much
There's a couple of details left out. One, the fact that someone did not pass along an invitation to Hunter.
Yeah.
Two, that we are now meeting at the palace with Hunter and with whoever. I do not know their name.
That poor
I think it was the
retarded.
king.
Oh.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
he'll be fine.
yeah.
Well, the other thing I'm thinking is, Hilltop has some more residents as we helped
Oh,
Evie's
yeah.
squad get out of town.
That's right.
Yep.
Hilltop's gonna have some more residents.
Yep, you got the EVs out.
Yeah, well, we are completely capable of getting ourselves into chaos. We do not need help.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as much as certain other groups, but yeah, pretty much.
Is there anything else anyone has to add for the recap?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much is it, yeah.
Nice addition to the conversation.
On a note, thank you. I do things for the 333 donation on my end. Always happy to have help with my plan. Anyway.
I'm just excited, everyone. I'm so excited, happy. Aren't you guys excited too?
We know.
Yeah, we know. We heard.
Ow.
Just want to get
I'm
to it.
sorry. You're saying that, and my body is translated as something else. Ow. Ow.
So much pain.
Anyways, continue on. Set the scene.
Where would you guys have gone after all this?
I think we were heading for the Eclipse Festival. At this point.
Specifically, if I recall correctly, we were invited to the palace.
Yeah.
Yes, you were.
And we were heading that way.
Yeah, we were heading to the event.
So unless something happens between that point and the palace, I would assume we're at the palace.
Can I have someone roll me a d10, please?
Yeah, sure.
I gave the recap, so yeah, someone else roll. Not to mention, my luck has been terrible lately.
Okay, let me check my thing real quick. Let me check my thing.
Your thing?
My thing.
Is it like a random encounters thing?
His list of punishments.
The list of stuff. The list of stuff. Okay, you guys did not trigger this thing yet, so good. Good. I'm glad.
Okay.
Huzzah.
I'm mildly terrified.
So, yes, you guys are able to make it to the large, sprawling palace. It is beautiful. It is breathtaking to look upon. You can see that artisans, not just like recently, but just throughout the city's history, have worked to grow and expand this palace and add to its majesty. And it is very, very beautiful to look upon. And as you approach, the guards at the front door wave you guys in so that you may enter.
Okay.
And before long, you guys are brought before the Emperor, who is currently sitting upon a throne, eating some grapes as he smiles at all of you. Welcome, my honored guests. I'm so glad that you were able to join us.
Midnight
Yes.
will bow, and the pleasure is ours, Your Majesty.
Jay will gently bow as well. Does he have that sort of presence like the moron from Sunfall?
No. So his presence is like it is a little bit pompous and such, but it's more like the air of like majesty than I'm better than you. Yes. Like
Okay.
very regalness. To him, like the way you kind of see him conducting himself is a little bit stiffly, like this is the role he is meant to perform. If that makes sense.
Right. And give a polite bow.
I am so glad that you were able to attend my invitation.
Thank you
I
for
hear that
inviting
you
us.
may. But of course, it is the required thing to do after all for guests of your caliber. And I heard that you may have business you wish to discuss as well, possibly.
Do we have business to discuss?
That is an excellent question.
I
Time
have
out.
no idea.
Do we have business that we wanted to discuss?
Trade discussions to make? Are you mean? Because I can't remember.
Well, you guys didn't necessarily come here with that in mind. But you know, the up and coming leader who has been able to bring towns under his control and murder the leaders of other places, yeah, he has a bit of idea of discussions right now. You know, because he doesn't want to be the next one on the chopping block.
Oh, a reputation precedes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You think he didn't know about that? Yeah, I know. And then Hunter just happens to be arriving during the most important ceremony of their people, basically every century. Yes, he did send out the invitation. Because he had to send the invitations. It was required. Literally, there's a rule for it.
He sent the invitations and was probably going, please don't accept them, please don't accept them, please don't accept them. And then we show up, he's like, damn it.
Yeah, just a tad, yes.
We didn't even want to be here in the first place, except we had to find Marie.
Except he doesn't know that. All he knows
doesn't.
is you guys decided to show up, and now he's a little bit worried.
Okay, so,
worry not, Your Majesty. I think your throne is safe right now.
As Hunter is completely distracted from the conversation, worried about Marie and if he messed up, and he's pretty sure he probably messed up, but he's not entirely sure he understands how. But as a result, his shadows are very twitchy and agitated and kind of just swirling around in such a pattern.
And leans against Hunter in a comforting manner. Besides, we have some other troubles on our minds right now.
The Emperor claps his little paws twice, and servants begin to bring out food onto a large table that's quickly set up. Please come, sit, eat. The festival is due to begin any moment now. I will not have my guests want for refreshments. Please, discuss your troubles with me.
Well, thank you.
For review, what is the Emperor?
I think he's a Kangaskhan.
No, he's not.
That is an excellent question. What is the Emperor?
I'm trying to remember from my spacing last time. I apologize.
Don't worry, the Emperor is the ruler of the town.
He was not the Rattata, was he?
No, that's the courier.
That's
that
what I thought.
got punished.
The red
I'm
Tero
looking.
was the gray.
That's right. Okay, I was double checking my notes real quick. Oh, that's right.
It turns
That's right.
out the red tat is the emperor. Nope.
No,
The secret
it-
That would
emperor.
be-
The secret
What a
emperor.
twist.
The secret emperor that thinks I hit on him because I asked him out to drinks.
I mean, the troublesome part of that means he'd be punishing himself.
Let me jump in real quick to my notes.
And do we have a name for him?
Yes, you do. I'm just looking through my notes of all my Pokemon I got. Give me one moment. I tried to find him real quick. I thought I had said it already, and then I
Yeah, you
realized,
did.
wait.
I just couldn't remember what
I think the next animation card is going to be of Kerr dropping his papers all over the floor.
Oh no, I have not actually told you guys it, according to my
Oh.
notes.
No, you have not told us his
I
name
thought
yet.
well, not his name, but I thought
Or
when
what
he
he
ran
is.
into Hunter and Shale, they had said what he was. Huh. I cannot recall right now. Unfortunately. It'd probably be in the record, but yeah.
So the figure sitting upon the throne, wearing a majestic little cape and eating little grapes, is the most adorable little. Was
He's not
he?
little, is he?
Hang on, I'm checking my notes real quick. Was it? I don't think it was. Notes. Notes. Come to me, notes. Where are you?
Kerr,
Joke.
Han, I'm starting
Yes?
to wonder if you actually had this written down.
I have a huge freaking list of names here, right? Okay. And literally, all I have next to them, though, is the names and what Pokemon they are. And I have to remember, okay, which one is which. Okay, going through the list. These guys always show up, so I have them memorized. And it's like, okay, this guy showed up once, but I remember, okay, I know who that one was. I know who that one was. And I have a whole list of names of people you guys haven't met yet that I have to keep remembering.
It sounds like you need more notes on who the individuals are.
That's in a different section of my notes. I have different notes.
So
of
you have
things.
to cross-reference your notes.
Yes,
Notes
yes, I
after
do.
notes after notes.
No, this is literally just
Noteception.
one thing is literally just my notes of names and places so I can remember everything. The other one is the notes of like what I actually have planned and possible routes and paths that you guys can
So
do.
comfortable as when I'm at least 6 feet under.
He Duffings has purchased 10 tabletop cards packs.
Look at that animation.
I found him.
Also, I did things. Thank you so much for those tabletop pack purchases. Or purchase of those tabletop packs. I really got to get that whole thank you down. But either way, thank you so much for the support.
It is a Teddy Ursa. Oh, go ahead.
I will say that last session you were referring to him as a king, and now you're talking saying he's an emperor.
Same thing.
It's not, though.
To him, probably.
King, emperor,
It
same
depends
thing.
on his mood that day. Today he's feeling like he's an emperor.
It's a Teddy Ursa.
Yes.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yes. And he has a little cloak, and in one little paw, resting on like the armrest of his throne, is a little scepter, and he has a little crown on his head.
Oh, that is adorable.
He is sweet baby.
I
Literally, that's how I figured it out, because I have right next to his name, Sweet Baby.
Okay.
We're not overthrowing this one.
Kerr.
mean, it's not overthrowing. We have to.
Yes.
Sweet baby is an attribute you apply to literally everyone.
Yes. Yes, it is. If you guys really want me to do his actual like voice, I can try to do his voice. I just wasn't trying to do
yes,
it.
always.
Oh, that? I
Oh,
want to
God.
hear this.
Okay. Greetings, my subjects. It is so good to have you here. Please, feast. You shall have the greatest of all foods.
You gotta be kidding me.
Well, thank
you
you,
very
thank
much,
you
Your
for your
Highness.
hospitality. Your
But of
Highness.
course, it is only expected when I have honored guests here. It is such a great honor to have you here.
We're not your subjects, though.
You are my honored guests.
Hunter, yeah, we are his honored guests.
But you can also see a few like the servants and guards also getting food here at the table too.
I was gonna get some food and drink anyway. It has been a bit.
It is top quality. So, tell me, my new friends, what is bothering you right now?
Man. I'm afraid I am hesitant to call one friend until I have their name, and I do not actually recall having gotten your name. I'm afraid, Emperor.
My greatest apologies. I thought you may have had my name from the messages I sent out. Oh, terrible, terrible shame. I am so sorry. My greatest, most humblest apologies to you, my honored guest. You may refer to me as Telo.
Ale?
Telo. Dalo.
Halo. Okay.
Talo. Halo. Okay.
I am the glorious Emperor of Neo Starvel.
Thank you, Emperor Telo.
But of course, though I will admit I am fairly new at this job as my father recently passed away, but I have striven to uphold the office of Emperor with diligence and strength.
You and Hunter share something in common, then.
Was the new emperor.
Oh, I know what the trap is. I know what the trap is.
You went quiet, like you went far from your mic there.
He did to left.
Okay, so that wasn't just me.
No, it was definitely not you.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Proceeding to not worry about it.
But yes, my guests, tell me, what troubles you in my kingdom? You should want for nothing here.
It is a personal matter regarding someone whom, well, being quite frank, we may have accidentally ruined their marriage, their wedding.
Oh my. As he kind of leans forward on his throne. Please, tell me everything.
Oh, what is there to tell? They didn't expect us to find them. We found them. We got invited to attend the wedding because we happened to be there, and And someone in their naivety spoke up in objection to the wedding when it wasn't a necessary concern. And now we don't know where they've disappeared to in the city, and quite frankly, it is terrifying to be on their bad side.
Big for you.
It's fine. It's only the tyrant lord.
Yeah, what she called herself, like
The Tyrant Queen.
the Tyrant
Never
Queen.
really
Yeah,
called
yeah, yeah.
herself. She never really brought that up with us.
well-
It was somebody else that called her that at this point.
Yeah, but you know, it's a badass name.
Of course it is.
Oh, wait. Did you say the Tyrant Queen?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, she's here in town also.
Oh. Why was I not informed of this? My humblest apologies, my Emperor. We were not aware of it ourselves.
She was really good at keeping everyone out of the loop, it seems.
Yeah.
The Tyrant Queen was said to be one of the greatest generals and fighters in all the land before she just mysteriously went missing. Everyone just thought that someone had finally killed her, but no one stepped forward to claim her bounty and reward.
No, she is quite alive, and trust me, being on her bad side is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's bad for your health.
The amount of training she can put someone through when she's upset is, well, to die for would be an apt description.
Not enough ale.
Oh my. It sounds like you guys have a little bit of an issue then if you offended her.
You have honestly no idea. Just
Right now,
it's not.
I'm banking on the fact that she likes us on principle for us to not die sometime within the next month.
Well, I certainly hope that you don't die. That would be such a shame.
It would be.
Is there anything that I might be able to do to assist you?
Army?
I don't know if an army can stop the Tyrant Queen.
No. The best thing you can do is keep out of the way.
Probably for the best.
Because if you get in the way, we cannot guarantee your safety.
In the end, I think the best solution here would be a proper resolution of what caused this.
Yeah, as tempting as it is to try to go into hiding at this point.
I have the stupidest solution.
What's that?
Oh.
Give Hunter the emperorship.
No. That wouldn't do it. Shale just looks and starts to laugh. How would that make any difference from where he is right now to her?
That would give Hunter a little bit of protection.
Again,
How
would that make any difference?
That would make no difference.
He already runs a big city. I don't think that would make any difference at this point.
Yeah, but now you're not throwing one army at her, you're throwing two armies.
So it'll take her twice as long to get to us.
I don't. So instead of 5 seconds to get through it, it'll be 10 seconds.
Exactly. No, our best bet is to throw ourselves on the mercy of the court.
Again,
the-
it is.
Did you know the stories of the Tyrant Queen?
we
A few.
yeah, some of them.
we mostly knew her as running the inn in town.
They said that she did not know mercy, and the punishments that she visited on those who displeased her were horrific in order to spur on those who would obey her.
Maybe she
Yeah.
humbled a bit in her old age.
I would not call her old.
I have some of the stories if you would like to read them. I can have my
She's
servants
not-
fetch them.
I have a question, actually.
Yes.
Did the stories say? Where did the stories say she was from?
They didn't.
Okay.
All they said was she was basically one of the warlords who just showed up one day
Okay.
and proceeded to crush everyone who got in her way.
Okay.
So she's from the ether.
No one's exactly sure. The thing is, warlords rise and fall in the more wild areas of the world that don't have like a stable government like your guys' area does.
I get you.
The thing is, she was one of those few warlords that didn't just rise up and then immediately get gangbanged back down and crushed by the people who were basically running the military forces of the area. She survived, made her own force, and then proceeded to curb stomp everyone who came at her. And then just one day, she vanished. And no one knows where the hell she went. Until, well, now, where you guys have found out where she probably went to is here.
She retired to Hilltops, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hale looks at. I think in the end, resisting this doesn't really help anyway. We need to.
Yeah.
Resolution is what is needed. Which
Emperor
I'm guessing.
Telo, this is a personal issue of our own. The best thing you can do is stay out of the way of it.
Yep.
You know, well, I would like to offer a trade agreement, though, to all of you, if you guys might be acceptable to that.
Would be interested in hearing what you have to offer.
Yeah, I think that's best.
Wonderful. Then we can talk business over this delicious, tasty food. I'm sure everything will turn out perfectly fine, and by the time we're done, well, we'll have a whole new trade agreement between our two cities.
Sounds wonderful.
Agree. I mean, we are Hunter's leader of both Hilltop and Moon, not Moonhole.
Sunfall.
Sunfall. Yeah.
You never really mentioned which is the main place yet. Not that I think he mutters something.
By the way, compliments to the chef. This is delicious food.
Oh, yes, we work very hard. All of my chefs have worked basically tirelessly to become the very best that they possibly can in order to earn their position here. As Arceus is chosen on this world, it is my duty to ensure the safety and prosperity of my country. I feel like Kin is twitching right now.
I place a paw on Ken's back to relax him, or try to.
Your Highness, can I ask something really quick?
But of course.
You spoke of punishment because the courier had not delivered the letter?
Of course.
What sort of punishment do you mean?
Well, a moment, please. I must consult with my minister on that, actually. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head what it would be, but I can check if you would want me to. I'd be more than happy.
Sure.
All right, one moment, and he will wave over a Rapidash, who will walk over and whisper something into his ear before he will nod. Okay, thank you. Well, okay. According to my advisor, as it was a gray that did it, and it was me who gave the letter. Accordingly, in order to balance the scales, the person will be found and executed.
What?
Merl is pressing
Your Highness,
to the temple.
That seems a rather harsh punishment.
So, real quick, Hunter was starting to sneak out. He had been sitting there just nudging his a berry across his plate in front of him the entire time, and started to sneak away. Until he heard that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The
shit.
shadows
Here
are
we go again.
immediately lashing out towards the Teddy Ursa.
Yeah.
Hunter, please.
Telo is going to intercept and look at Hunter. Settle.
I
Oh,
mean,
my heart's really not in this.
Try to pressure.
Yeah, Cobalt would also be clenching his fist too.
A magnanimous dispensation.
I don't know if I
Tochemay tipped
If I make a present, could try to make a sucky roll here if it makes any sense. We'll try to do a presence. I guess presence mind would make more sense. Presence forceful mind would make more sense here.
Go for it.
Tochemay, thank you so very much for that tip. The tip goal has been fully completed, and we're going to go ahead and move it over to the DLC outfits for getting some art of the characters done in various outfits. Remember, you all can do ! DLC for seeing that list of options. But anyways.
So Shill steps in the way and kind of weakly goes, settle. Doesn't seem to have much effect.
It's steamrolled by the shadows.
Well, if you all care that strongly about it, I would be happy to waive the punishment.
Yes, please. I understand that our traditions are maybe different than yours.
He doesn't seem to understand the shadows moving towards him are dangerous.
Oh, they're now wrapping up around him and his throat.
Hunter, he has just agreed to waive the punishment.
Oh, is this a hug?
Hunter, this is not as in control as you think.
Equally naive.
No.
I do like hugs. I'm not usually allowed to give them, though. They say it's bad for an image.
Hunter, strike him down.
But yeah, I would
Hunter,
be
you
happy.
want more power. Think about it.
I didn't catch the first part of what you said.
I said, Hunter, you don't want more power. Think about it.
I also don't want bully.
Hunter, he agreed to waive the punishment.
Also, to be fair, he also didn't seem to even be aware of what the punishment would be. He had to ask someone what it would be.
Shayla also said that it is not something of his power. Most time, it's not. Yeah. Not somebody fully in his hands, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, he's bound by the law. He's not the law.
And he also seems to be somewhat new to all of this as well.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, Hunter, please relax. This is a topic that we could discuss on about severity of punishments in the city, and perhaps we can work out some changes, especially given that the Emperor here is young and perhaps hasn't had the opportunity to go over what the current rules are in their entirety and come to a decision on his own on their
Climate change is also
on what
on us.
what they mean. Besides, as Shale just mentioned, it is a time of change for them.
Hunter is just growling, and he releases the shadows, or withdraws them, and just storms out. He was going to sneak away, but now he's just storming out.
Midnight just sighs a sigh of relief.
As Hunter is storming towards the door to leave, the door suddenly gets kicked open.
Oh.
Oh, goodness. What now? Turn
Who's
around.
on the other side of that door?
As you turn around, you can see what looks to be about 30 or 40 guards out cold on the ground, and a little Pancham standing there. He's got like a little pair of pants with his hands just in the pockets, and rather than a leaf, he has like an actual little stick of bamboo.
Midnight looks at the display and is just
Yep.
awestruck.
Jail goes into defense curl?
And who is this?
He's looking directly at Hunter at the moment.
For those who don't know, this would be the Tyrant Queen's dad.
What?
You're the one who made my little girl cry at the altar.
Why is he a... Why does that... Yeah, okay. Must have an evolution stone or something.
I took her in and taught her everything she knows. She was great. She was wonderful. And you made her cry. We are going to have words about this.
If you don't give me something to do, I'll have to amuse myself, and no one wants that.
He Duffings says perfect.
Oh no, that's just what the situation needs.
Just more
Things
shenanigans.
Yes.
Oh no.
Here's a powder keg. Let's just throw some nitroglycerin and some dynamite in there.
Tell me, everyone, real quick, before anything happens, do you have your last will and testament thought out?
I have nothing to bequeath to anybody, so that's an easy will.
Do you have any last words that you wish to pass on to posterity or to anyone in particular?
No.
Is this being said in character?
Yes.
This is Domino.
This is Domino.
Oh.
I don't want to die a second time.
Domino!
Yes, darling? What'd you say?
He just losing my train of thought. Domino! I don't think it's to the level you think it is, and I would hope someone will try to fix it.
I don't think this can be fixed, Shell.
Well, darling,
Well, then I find this reasoning anything stupid for what caused it.
I met him before. He almost killed me 4 different times.
I'm still hoping for saner, for cooler heads, because this whole thing.
Well, are you all right? You seem to be a little hot-headed right now.
What? You think making my daughter cry on her wedding day isn't a good enough reason to want to talk to you?
No, I'm
that
fine
is
with
a
talking,
very.
but that's not where
That is a very.
certain people looking at Domino are going.
Midnight just face palms with his paw. It's like, oh my goodness.
Right at that point, and let this go.
The Pancham just like marches in. Oh, go ahead.
Hunter has not stopped. He's moving to the side, but he is still marching out.
And he reaches out to try to stop you.
Oh.
Hunter is going to keep on going.
Hunter.
Yeah, his paw is just going to grab onto your shoulder.
Hunter, that's not a good idea.
Oh no.
I hear you're the one who made my girl cry. So you're going to explain to me and her what the hell you were doing.
Hunter's eyes are purple as he's looking over. I don't know how I messed up, but I'm going to go talk to her.
He looks you up and down for a moment. Well, good. All right, you lot, you're coming with me. Kingy?
Breaks free and starts walking again.
Do you even know where she is? I can show you where she
find
is.
her.
No, you won't. I'll take you to her. We all want to go to the same place, don't we? I'm assuming as he looks at the rest of you with a look that is basically, you want to come along, or am I going to have to make you want to come along?
Yes, sir. We want to come along.
Yes, sir.
Dale just shrugs.
Yeah. Midnight
deepest
snaps to
apologies, sir, for
attention
what
as he
happened.
says that.
Taylor's just kind of watching from his throne, looking just like, I'm not really sure what's going on right now, but I don't really want to get involved because that looks like a lot of my soldiers on the ground out there, and I don't want to cause more problems.
Sorry about that. Hopefully we'll get some negotiations done once this is settled.
Okay, no worries. Just be safe, and you feel free to come back here whenever you're free.
Hunter looks back at Telo as he's walking through the doors. No execution. Ever.
I said I was... well, we can see about getting rid of those laws then, since the ceremony's coming up.
He is shooting Telo a very fierce glare.
He looked like he was trying to agree there.
It's more of a glare of, yes, you will be changing that, or else.
Yeah, I'm also glaring with Hunter too. With you better change it because you don't have.
I take it you two are not a fan of capital punishment.
Nope.
There is
Kim
no.
just looks very tired.
It's a look of there is no we can see about it. It's a there. It will be changed.
Or Hunter will be back.
And he'll see just how tight of a hug those shadows can give.
And I have to say, thank you, Telo, for the invitation.
But of course, I'm happy to.
I look forward to our next meeting, and then I bow.
And he gives a little clap and just kind of smiles very sweetly at all of you.
He is so naive.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder who's. I feel like there's probably an underhand hand we haven't seen.
Definitely. But let's not worry about that right now. Let's worry about the immediate danger that's in front of us.
Exactly.
He just smiles.
The priests have everything under control.
One step at a time.
Yes.
Everyone ready to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
As ready as I'm gonna be.
I will be right back. I have got to use the bathroom.
So, as you guys begin heading out,
Cobalt needs to know what Hunter said. You hear Cobalt?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hunter interrupted the wedding saying that you were the one supposed to be wed to her.
What?
That's
Octo
not
was
the
there.
exact words.
Not is not the words.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of there. Remember?
Yeah.
That was definitely not it.
Totally was. Hashtag totally was.
No, it was not.
So it's not too long. He leads you out of the city and over to a large crested hill where there is a large tree. And underneath the tree, you can see a Kangaskhan Khan sitting back to you guys, looking out at the horizon and towards the sun.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Welcome back. Cobalt is on his deathbed. He's dying. Shale's already
not
dead.
there yet.
Brussel has gone underground.
Hunter, let's get somewhere first before we even go down the doom room road.
Hunter has somehow taken over another kingdom.
All that happened in the span of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hunter gets to live, but now he's the world emperor, something he didn't want to do.
Groovy.
Groovy. Yes. You can see the Kangaskhan Khan sitting against a tree. They're back to you. And they are just kind of watching the sun as you guys move up the hill.
Hunter is
Yeah, we'll just
moving
take it.
off to the side of her. Staying just a small distance away. And just sits quietly until she acknowledges him.
He's not really looking at you at all.
He's got time.
So, you're the lot my daughter fell in with, huh?
Most of us were bleh. Most of us were most of us lived in the town, and well, the tournament kind of led us together. You could
I
say.
know. She sent me letters. I know all about you lots. She always was gushing about you.
Good to hear.
Now it's the wrong type of gushing.
Yeah, when she sent me a message about what had happened, I grabbed the first abra I could and came here.
Understandable. In your position, I would probably do the same.
So, why the fuck did you ruin my daughter's wedding? I still want a clear answer on that.
I'll chuckle. I don't think it was of any choice except for the one who's trying to apologize right now.
Dear father, Hunter committed his first murder. I'm so proud of him.
Actually, the message kind of did go like that a little bit. Yes, the message would have gone more like, "Dear Dad, so today Hunter overthrew an entire city-state in less than a day, murdered the ruler in single combat without a single scratch or bit of damage being done to him, and then proceeded to take over and rule it with an iron paw, all in under a day. I am so proud of him right now. I didn't even think he had it in him, and then he just, not only does he take over this town, but then that one? Oh, I was running my army.
So, to my understanding, I don't even know how to explain it.
Hunter is taking off his hat and laying down and just waiting. Maybe scooting a little bit more in front of her.
Hunter, what was it again that you said your objection was?
I didn't say.
So what?
Well, why did you?
Hunter just gives a look over at Cobalt, but doesn't respond otherwise. And then looks back at Marie.
You can see that she's clearly been crying quite a lot.
His ears and tail are just flat as they can go.
I trusted you, and I gave you invitations to come to my wedding, and that's how you repay it, Hunter? That's what you do?
he looks down. I try to help friend. Maybe you.
How was that supposed to help me, Hunter? Tell me. How was that supposed to help me?
Cobalt's just face palming right now.
Oh no.
Yeah. Remind me again. She did not show up to the first wedding, right?
No, Koga didn't.
Okay,
Koga's
so he
the
is the
one who
one that
failed to
left
show up
her.
to first.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
At the altar.
Well, either way, that works. He didn't show up the first time. You don't. He doesn't deserve you.
And you're the one who gets to decide that, Hunter?
No.
Because you sure as hell did.
Cobalt was interested too. I wanted to make sure you knew. I'm sorry.
You ruined my wedding, Hunter. That was a chance for me to try to be happy. To be with someone who made me happy. Cobalt's sweet, but I hardly even know him. No offense, Cobalt.
None taken.
I know him from town and from, him coming to the inn and everything, but I don't know him. Just like he doesn't know me. All of you don't really know me. The Pancham just kind of walks over and sets a little paw on her knee and just kind of rubs it a little bit. Maybe answer their questions then, hun? And she just sighs and just kind of rubs her face a little bit before looking at all of you. I'm sure you have questions. Go ahead and ask.
Mine is simple. Why can't you be happy now?
Because now we're going to have to do all this work again to try to make a wedding work. How would you feel if the most important day of your life was suddenly ruined?
That's fair, though. There was a process, and I expect the hunter would have stepped down on it.
My usual response to something like this happening is to kill whatever did it with extreme prejudice, and I did my best to control myself. So I removed myself from the situation until I could calm down a little bit.
Hunter moves his head, exposing his neck.
I'm not going to hurt you, Hunter.
He remains silent, but in that position.
Truth was, I was trying to get you lot ready for what was coming.
Mm-hmm.
What is coming?
She just kind of chuckles a little bit. You guys didn't think that you guys lived such a peaceful life for decades almost. Without a single bad thing going wrong, no attacks, no raids, or anything at all ever getting in the way. You lot didn't even really know much about the outside world, did you? About what went on out there.
I mean, I did find it curious how safe Hilltop was, especially given how much I had gathered from merchants that passed through.
That was because me and my father made sure that anyone who got the ideas of trying to invade Hilltop or the surrounding area rethunk those policies or mysteriously died in, an explosion of gore or pain.
Extremely gruesome ways, yes.
Noted. I figured it was something to do with the peace between the leaders, truth, but noted.
They were strong, which gave the weaker warlords pause. They didn't want to get into a fight that they couldn't just easily win, but for those who had more power and such, I was the deterrent. Or he went for me if I couldn't go. And we worked in secret to keep the town safe. I was planning to train you lot to take over for me.
You never did introduce us to your father.
He took me in when I was young. I was barely a child, almost dead after a village was sacked and raided. I was buried under some rubble, and he ended up finding me and digging me out and taking me in. I was one of his students he taught and trained to fight. And as time went on, we got closer and closer. He basically adopted me when I grew up. And he taught me everything I know.
So what happens now?
What happens now? The best case, new day is set up for a wedding, and we managed to get through with this, and worst case, well, to be quite frank, I expected all of us would die within the week.
She just chuckles a little bit. Some of the weaker, lesser warlords, ones that are more roving bands of marauders, maybe a dozen strong, have been trying to raise hell to go after Hilltop and some of the areas around there. I was planning to try to train you and teach you to get ready for some of them so that you could learn what it was like to start dipping your feet into the wider world of what's going on before Hilltop is drawn forcefully into it like it was for my village.
Okay. Funny enough, I actually was anticipating that we'd be getting into more fights myself. Part of why I had asked Koga to prepare armor for us and delivered on such a short notice.
She smiles and chuckles at that. Oh, once you finish your training with me, and she looks at her father, who just crosses his arms and looks very annoyed. Do I have to? Yes. Yes, you do. Yeah, okay. My daughter's Shanghaiing me into this. I don't have to like it. But if you're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach you something that will give you at least a fighting chance no matter what you're up against.
The one who taught who taught the Tyrant Queen herself, it would be an honor.
I didn't teach her that much. I taught her some basic fighting abilities, and I taught her how to use her. I taught her to use her inner ability. That was all. She's the one who figured out how to actually make it useful.
I see.
Do you not even know what that is? Because I can see one of you is already unlocked there, surprisingly. As he's looking right at Hunter.
Hunter looks back in confusion.
Your shadows, boy.
I don't like them.
They're a part of you, boy. They are literally a part of you. That is your inner ability. Something only you can do.
His hidden power, as you might say.
There's a couple of different names you can call it, yes. Most Pokemon, well, about 95% of them go their entire lives without ever unlocking it. Those who do, though, however, have the possibility of becoming some of the most powerful Pokemon of their generation. With the right training, of course, and the right knowledge and imagination. It seems like you've got a bit of a decent one, though, that doesn't require too much to make it useful. You're far luckier than I am.
Hmm?
My own inner ability isn't that... Well, it isn't that much to write home about. All of you haven't evolved yet, so you wouldn't have noticed anything. But I can't evolve or use any techniques at all. So all those fancy little tricks that you lot can do, I can't. All I have are my paws and my wits and my imagination. But in exchange, your little techniques don't work on me.
Amazing.
I'd have evolved a long time ago if I could, but I can't. I'm always going to be stuck like this.
But only physical attacks work on you.
Mm-hmm. So he walks over to Hunter and just like reaches out. When his hand comes in contact with the shadow just basically explodes and dissolves. And then he waves a hand to Cobalt. I'm sure if your friend over there just punched me in the face, that would work very effectively against me.
I see.
Cobalt is top tier in punching.
But your little fire trick, your leaves and vines won't do a lick against me. Most Pokemon don't figure that out before I punch them in the face repeatedly. And if I make physical contact with someone, I can temporarily revert their evolutions back to their base forms, what they were born as.
Oh, that's
temporary, but enough to win a fight usually.
I imagine that may demoralize a lot of evolved opponents.
He smiles. It works decently well. It doesn't do anything though if I don't have the skill to back it up.
Right.
I had to train my ass off in order to actually make this ability useful. Same thing with my girl. When he says that, she just kind of blushes a little bit. So, what I'm going to tell you is something I haven't told anyone before. My inner technique is called Inverse. Any blow or strike against me, the stronger it is, the weaker and less damage it will do to me. But if I use the technique and I get hit by a very weak attack, it will amplify the attack and make it extremely damaging. So I have to be careful when I use it.
Oh, you're saying if you were using it and I just like nudge your shoulder in a friendly fashion, that
it
might
could
just
actually
do you
hurt
in.
me. There's a threshold before it will trigger, but like say you just punched me very lightly in the arm, that could actually turn into something that could break my arm instead.
I see.
But on the flip side, if someone tried using a hyper beam, it would basically do nothing to me. The trick is very effective for getting close and dealing with someone, but if they ever figure out how it works, I'm going to probably die.
Thank you, sir, for being willing to be this open and vulnerable with us.
Well, that's the thing. It's easier to know what you're going to be getting into if you already have examples that you're dealing with. As he walks over to Hunter and just taps his nose a little bit. What we're going to be doing is working you lot to an inch of your life to figure out what the hell your abilities are and to bring them out.
Before we get on with the training, can we see about arranging a new day for Murray's wedding? I was really looking forward to that actually happening, and
Hoga's already doing it. He's the one who was handling everything beforehand. I figured he would take care of that himself. He's always on top of that stuff.
And yet he gets himself sidetracked and...
Oh, he should.
If you don't mind, I think I'll be making sure to send him letters regularly to keep him focused.
You just see her kind of smile a little bit at that. Oh, you should have seen our first date. It was on the plains of Novaris. He was leading his army against my warband, and we met in combat, and he threw everything he had at me, and it was glorious. Like, my inverse was able to negate everything he tried to do. He literally put his all into every single punch. And I could feel it. I could feel how much heart and soul he had. And we fought, I think, for days. Oh, it just kind of runs together at this point. But no matter what happened, or how much it seemed that he was just failing, or nothing was working, he never gave up. And as his soldiers began to flee and retreat, he single-handedly held off my entire army to cover every single one of his men to get to safety. And I called my men off. I would not allow such a noble and brilliant warrior to die there. And we met again a few weeks later. He had recovered, and that battle was even better. Oh, we clashed 2 dozen times, and every time he tried more and more. And oh, the glorious battles we had. And she just kind of smiles a little bit, like she's like recalling like just like a what would be like a very nice date for all of you versus like a battle to the death.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. He met an unstoppable force and he had no coping mechanism for it. So instead he decided to date it.
Mm-hmm. he actually ended up breaking my arm in one of our very last battles. He ended up tripping over a rock, and when he came falling at me, I had put up inverse because I thought he was going to hit me hard. He tripped, and then he ended up hitting my arm and snapping it in 3 places.
Talk about what do you call failing into a win?
AK, in game terms, he botched the roll, and all of the negative successes turn into positive successes. That's
awesome.
The way inverse works. It reverses the dice pool.
Okay. He rolled all 1s and they turned into all 10s.
Yes, that is exactly what happens. 2 through 6s become a success, a 1 becomes a 10. And he proceeded to basically just crit her for 1 billion damage and almost killed her. If you want to go like strictly by game terms of what happened on that battle. And then she promptly fell in love with him.
It's like, oh, you almost killed me. Oh, be still, my beating heart.
Oh god, you almost killed me. This is the first time almost anyone killed me. Fuck, that's hot. Yeah, it was literally like that. It's like seeing him near death, panting, surrounded by soldiers, and then still fighting around a pile of dead bodies. Her response, "You are so hot right now."
Well, to each their own, as long as you're happy.
If you guys find the role not already taken, I would be honored to officiate the wedding.
She'll nod. We'll consider it. I'm going to enjoy this, though, I warn you.
I imagine we have a torturous amount of training ahead of us.
Well, no. I'm going to enjoy every second of it.
Torturous for us. Murray, you know none of us have the same... Okay, maybe Cobalt has, Cobalt has the same sense of
enjoyment
of training, but the rest of us,
I feel like Cobalt is just like, you want to train me to be able to fight? I feel like Cobalt's just like, you want to train me to fight armies?
I
Where
really
did
want
say
to fight
off?
armies.
Why aren't we started yet?
He's probably over there tapping his foot. He's like, I'm waiting.
Just please.
Doing the Sonic. I'm waiting.
What is Cobalt?
Is there
On
anything?
one condition. On one condition. We do not have Domino invading my dreams again. Never
make sure.
again.
I can do that.
Hey.
This is less punishment and more, I'm actually training you to actually protect our home.
Hey.
Yeah. Is there any other questions you have for us, I suppose I should ask?
Why did you retire to Hilltop?
Oh, that? I got bored.
You got bored.
Mm-hmm.
What other
that's as
answer?
good a reason as any.
Yeah, what other reason were you expecting?
I got bored of the same old. Warlords would rise. They try to push me off my throne. I curb stomp them. It got boring after the first couple of, the first 2 decades. And eventually I decided, well, eventually I'll get to the point where I'm not going to be able to fight anymore and someone might get a lucky shot. So I decided to retire because I wanted to find something else to do. I decided the most terrifying, painful, and truly, truly dangerous and deadly position I could possibly find other than being a warrior on the battlefield was in customer service. So I decided to open an inn.
That's fair. Customer service is not for the faint-hearted. I say that out of character.
I've worked customer service for like a decade. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Customer service. Little warriors in of themselves. And not paid enough, for sure.
Also, I need to make a joke now. As someone dies in customer service and a Valkyrie shows up to collect them. Okay, I'm here to take you to Valhalla. But I didn't die in battle. No, you died doing customer service, which is even worse, darling.
Oh yes, you died in battle. You died in battle against the will to live.
You died against a
This
Karen.
fellowship expands. Praise the sub.
Praise the
Just
sub.
resubscribed for 2 months. Was this the trap?
Oh no, they haven't seen the trap yet.
It is a classic Team Rocket pitfall trap.
And I suppose, likewise, if you have any questions for us, it's only fair that you get to ask them as well.
What do you want?
I'm sorry?
What do you want?
What do I want?
Mm-hmm. All of you. As she stands up and just kind of reaches out a hand towards the sun and clenches it. When I was younger, I wanted to rule everything. I wanted everywhere from coast to coast under my banner.
Hunter starts freezing as Murray clutches the sun.
I wanted to create a world where nothing like what happened in my village could ever happen. I was willing to do whatever it took to make it happen.
waits, and with the silence, it goes, I, hmm. I want to learn, probably learn how stuff works.
Insatiable need for knowledge.
Yeah, pretty much. And I've gotten some help in that. As he pulls out his nice notebook and stuffs it back.
Funny enough, I want something similar to Marie. I want to see a world that is safe, secured, and that is united.
Now, this is the question. Is that a desire that you would be willing to stake your life on? Is that a desire you are willing to die for? Is that a desire you are willing to kill for?
Yes. I am willing to do whatever it takes to at the very least, keep our little corner of the world safe.
Because in order to finish this training, in order to succeed in it, you need a burning desire in your chest, a drive beyond everything else for one thing. It doesn't matter what he wants, or I want. It has to be something you want more than anything else. Something that you are willing to push on the world, regardless of if it is possible or impossible.
First and foremost, I want my piece of the world to be safe. That is what I'm willing to stake my life on. Keeping my friends, my family, my little piece of the world safe. The rest of the world, that is an extension. If they do become united, then they become part of my piece of the world, my family and friends. And at that point, the same applies to them. But until then, it is Hilltop, the surrounding areas, and those that I have decided are worth protecting.
Before I came to Hilltop, I was from a little village that was raided by one of the smaller warlords. My parents managed to sneak me out during the confusion. They, to my knowledge at least, didn't make it out. I am always, ever since coming to Hilltop, I have made it my vow to make sure those events are not repeated in Hilltop, and I have always been willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that no one comes anywhere near being able to do what they did to my village here, or to Hilltop.
She'll nod. She looks at Hunter. What about you, Hunter? What drove you so hard that you developed your power?
I I don't want people hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I want an end to the warlord era.
She'll nod slightly. Oh, go ahead.
I said it like I go, well, I mean, I just want to, as I said, I want to be the strongest in the world. And, though, before, like, but walk up to Marie and I kind of I lean up real close to her ear and I go, like, can I talk to you privately later on?
He will nod.
And I step back.
All right, then. As Marie stands up and just kind of wipes her eyes and looks at you all. Well, then, since you're all here, Poco here, as she waves a hand to the Pancham, will start your training. You, Cobalt, are going to come with me.
All right.
Try not to scream too loudly before she leads you off to talk to you.
All right.
Once you are
too loudly.
Once you're good enough out of a little bit away from the group to have some privacy, she'll look at you and just kind of cross her arms. What did you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, I did like to talk about, I mean, the real reason why I want to be the strongest in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And also kind of like, to help clear up the air about what Hunter said.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, which one do you want to start off on first? Like the first one or second one? I don't know.
Start with whichever one you're more comfortable with.
All right. Well, I guess like with the first one, say like I kind of know what you kind of been through because I kind of been through that myself. I mean, I'm not from Hilltop myself.
Are any of us actually from Hilltop?
Yeah, Shale is.
Oh.
His parents live in town.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just some little real living in the mountains with his dad. And well, I mean, let's just say my old man was a really, really tough old man. Like, so much so that that he was trying to perfect a fighting style that was considered to be invincible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it used to be it was me and one other person that my dad tried to pass on what he learned. And yeah, everything was going well until one day I find my old man dead on the dojo ground with the other person standing next to him. And let's just say that this same person then went on to carve up his own little empire using the moves that my own dad taught him.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I know that like what I want to do is I want to perfect my dad's fighting style and eventually again gain the power to crush tyrants so I can find this same person and I want to beat him within an inch of his life until he repents for what he did.
She nods slightly. Understandable.
Yeah. But yeah, I just know what it's like, when someone who, wants to become a warlord and ends up ruining everything. Because, I kind of been through that. And I'm pretty sure a good amount of our in the group has been through that too. But yeah, it hurts the worst when it affects family. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I am just always excited for your kind of training because I feel like I'm just getting a step closer to improving what I know so far and what I need to rediscover that my old man didn't teach me, because I know he definitely took some of his old books.
AFK for a second.
But yeah.
She lets out a soft sigh. I can see what we can do to try to help you out. And do you know anything about the person who killed your father?
Yeah, he was a Jengmo, but once I heard me and him were about the same size, but next thing you know, on that day, he was fully evolved. And I don't know how he did it, especially that quickly.
So he's a Komomo now then, is he?
Yes.
I can see what we can find out about it and see if there's anyone who might be able to point him out to where he is right now.
Yeah. I just want him and people like him to I just really, really wanna hurt these people like him, and stop this whole and just I just want to end this whole big cycle tyranny this world is so far going with.
Mm-hmm. Don't we all?
Yeah. But yeah, even if I had to physically punch punch everyone to do it. How long have we known each other, and the amount of times we fight, and now I think this is the first time I got you to laugh.
It doesn't happen very often.
Mm. But yeah. But anyway, back to the second issue. I mean, I know it's pretty much what Hunter said. I mean, yeah, I mean, I admit I'm a bit interested in you. It's just that one of the reasons why I always like the fight with you and egg on, and even like even with the whole like riling you up with saying that you coddle Hunter. I mean, part of it is also because yeah, you kind of do, but the other part is like I kind of also like to get your attention.
You just wanted my attention?
I mean, I'm not really great at like expressing interest. So yeah, especially when God, I'm just not that great in these things. I prefer punching people, and unfortunately, this is something that a punch can't solve. Well, I don't know. I read a story about this one guy who like ended up fighting this one lady that he liked, and next thing you know, they're married.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how in the world that happened, but yeah, that's how it did. How it ended.
Believe me. You might understand one day.
Yeah. But yeah. I know like you said like as you said that you told Hunter that we don't know each other, but I'd be open to know you if you but I know that you're wanting to get married to that one guy, so I'm not gonna get in the way of your happiness. That was never the plan. Just Hunter, just you know how he is. He doesn't really think.
She nods slightly.
Yeah.
Oh, I realize it's something I'm going to need to teach him to do better with.
Yeah.
He thinks plenty well enough. It's just not quite, the way of others may think.
Okay, Captain Tactful. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much what I got.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
She'll nod. I'll see what I can find out for you, and I understand.
Yeah. But yeah, if you don't mind, I like to keep it a little secret from the rest of the group. As I said, it's because it's my dad is a very big personal issue, and I don't really want to get too involved with everyone about it. Hell, even though I'm a bit sentimental, hell, this black scarf I got around my neck isn't mine. It's originally my dad's. But yeah.
She nods and just kind of... She reaches out and just kind of pats your shoulder.
About this point, you hear screams from over the hill.
Well, it seems the weight training has begun.
Yeah. We better get back to it before they have too much fun.
Guess I should have mentioned about. Ah, well. Never mind.
All right, so Brain, please work.
Yeah, it better work. You got another game after this.
Yeah.
It's only 8:30.
Yeah, we still got
Nah, I'm
another hour and a
checking.
half for this one.
Yes, we do. So, now, before we continue, though, there is something I want to turn over to my players. Because this is something that I'm going to want to work a bit with all of you. I want you guys to work on what your do any of you have an idea of what you want your technique to be?
I
'Cause,
kind of do.
What are you thinking?
Well, I've built Midnight as sort of a stealth infiltrator, so I was thinking maybe I'm able to blend into the shadows.
Someone who makes shadows and someone who blends into them.
Mhm.
Don't
I mean, I
get
kind of played
consumed by
around with
them.
that during that one fight when when Hunter had his shadows extended, and I was taking pot shots from sort of working on that. Like that's been kind of my idea with Midnight.
I could see something like that working. Yes, I could see that working as a as your personal technique.
I have to think on it because I see. I mean,
Secret technique: shallad. Shale becomes
No.
a shallad.
Please,
Yes,
no.
yes.
No. Get that out of
No.
this, please.
Besides, if it
Secret
was, it'd be
technique.
the most dangerous shallot ever.
I think,
Russell dies in the shadows.
I think, thinking about it, I think technique should be something less about, well, since he is working, the thought is more, learn and stuff with that. I'm wondering if I should make it something along the lines of, anticipating based on trying to anticipate and use that to his advantage based on what an opponent would throw at him.
I can see something like that working.
Yeah.
So he wants Ultra Instinct.
The thought in my head actually was Sherlock's ability in the movies, in the latest movies. Thinking out, okay, this is what's coming. This is how you respond, and how you deck him. You deck him or have him deck himself.
I could see something like that working.
Oh, discombobulate.
Yes.
What about everyone else? Do you guys have a bit of an idea what you might want?
Kerr, you are very echoey.
Sorry, I stepped away for a second to get some water.
Kerr is underwater again.
Sorry, I stepped away to get some water. I just sat back down. Kin, Cobalt, or Brussel, do you guys have an idea about like what you might want to try to do, or a concept you might want to go with?
Like, for what again? Sorry, I zoned out.
Your special power.
Oh, my special power. Let's see.
And not yet for me.
Okay.
I want to. Can you give me what did everyone else say? I want to get some ideas going on.
Well, for Hunter, it's his shadows.
Okay.
Midnight is dialing in on the stealth concept and is wanting to blending into the shadows.
Shale is probably the best way to put it is reading and countering the opponents based on what he knows.
And the rest of us haven't stated yet.
Okay.
Like you don't need something like immediately. Like you'll have time to come up with something. But I was just curious, like if you had an idea about something you might want to give. And that way I might be able to work and refine what you want and give you something that does that and works within what the power set of the power level of what I'm planning to give you.
I have a little bit of an idea, but I'm uncertain. I'm not sold on it, but I was thinking, the deepest shadows only exist in the brightest light.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking possibly Kin might develop a sort of a fiery aura.
Okay.
But again, not entirely settled on that. I'll have to think about it.
But don't worry, it's no rush or anything. I just wanted to check and such.
Well, considering what you've been doing so far in the campaign, perhaps something like Fire's Warmth that can help with more social-based checks to calm emotions and such.
So you're thinking being the calming hearth around which people can
You're the it'd be like you'd be the de-escalator.
It was just my suggestion is not something that you have to go with.
I like it.
It was just,
I like it.
Based on what you were saying,
I like it. An aura of calm radiates from Kitten.
Because I just want to give you guys a heads up warning. These abilities will not grow and change. What you get is what you'll get.
Alright.
Yeah, I figured that was gonna be the case.
So I want to make. I just want to make sure that you guys know that when we come up with it, I will be the one who comes up with the rules and mechanics of how it's actually going to work within the system. But I want to make sure that I get the spirit of everything that you want.
Okay.
All right. We can workshop it.
Yep, and your technique can have multiple. I can talk. Yes, you can. Hunter's shadows can be used in multiple different ways. It all stems from one source, his manipulation of shadows. But there's a lot he can do with those shadows that can make it seem like multiple different techniques all rolled into one.
Okay.
Laser beam.
You're saying
and choke.
So you're saying go with a general idea that has the capability of being multi-tooled into other applications.
It doesn't have to be. Like, again, keep in mind, like, for the two that you've met now, one of them basically negates all Pokemon techniques and evolutions. But that's all it does. And the other one inverses damage, basically. So the harder you hit her, the weaker the blow is going to be. They don't really have, like, broad applications for the abilities, but they're very... With the right training and setup, they can be very, very scary abilities if you know what you're doing and how to use them.
Okay.
But Hunter's abilities, like, he could create tentacles with his shadows. He could create, like, an orb to protect him with his shadows. He could create wings, possibly, with his shadows if he wanted to. Like, Hunter is a very broad base technique, but the technique itself isn't necessarily that strong, but it has a vast, wide application of uses versus...
Hold on.
Did
you say you could form them into wings?
Possibly, you could learn to do that, yes.
I did not think of that, and now I want to.
Yes. Well, I figure it's like your shadows are solid. Theoretically, you could form them into wings to fly. Like, Hunter's technique overall is not that strong. Like, you've seen the amount of damage it does in combat. It doesn't do that much damage in combat. But outside of, like, just combat, it has a lot of versatility and a lot of use covering a crap ton of situations. Versus, like, say, Poco's ability when it comes to evolution and technique. It only does one thing, but it does that one thing really, really well. To the point of he can't even evolve.
I know what I want now. And it is essentially a light version of what Hunter's got.
Manipulating light?
Exactly.
Yeah, you could do that. Basically, the way I would put it is the more broad your technique is going to be, likely the weaker it will be overall. But you can probably find a lot of inventive uses for it. The more focused the technique is, the stronger the technique is going to be in its field of use. It might not always be useful, but you might be able to figure out good ways to use it with the right imagination and such.
It feels poetic. And
like, again, I'm thinking about Shale's ability. I already got ideas of how I'm going to make this work in system, and Shale's is going to be one of those. It does one thing really, really, really well, but in that one field of doing really, really well, Shale knows what it's going to be. I will say, I do think Shale's technique is going to be very strong. It's not going to be necessarily as versatile as Hunter or Kin. He's going to need people to back him up in order to use his technique effectively. But if he has the teammates who can really make his technique effective, Shale is going to be very, very scary as, like, the brains of the party.
Yay.
they'll just start setting up combos for everyone, and
that is
being the strategic leader. You're gonna go here. You're gonna go there. You're gonna do this. It all waterfalls together into a perfect combo that causes the enemy to explode.
Shale watches. He realizes the person's going to attack Hunter. Alright, sorry. We roll. I crit and one-shot Hunter. Turns out that was Shale's prediction, and Shale now has his turn to warn Hunter about what's about to happen and what he believes is going to happen if nothing is done.
if not to attempt to intercept.
Telo can predict the future, basically, before it happens. But he can only predict exactly what he sees. If you can't see it, you can't predict it.
Realize now that's kind of like a light Jedi power.
Don't worry, you get the rewrite power.
Yeah, that's the issue, though, you're going to have, Shale. You can only predict and know what's happening on what you can see.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So a way to get around your technique. Actually, Hunter is very good about getting around your technique, because if he uses his hat and just kind of like holds it in front of him and then has his shadow spear through the hat and stab you, you can't see that. You wouldn't be able to predict that. But if anyone just like
his hat?
I mean, I was using that as an example. But if someone just comes charging at you with like a knife or comes shooting fire at you, Shale, oh yeah, I already know exactly what you're going to do and how to avoid it.
Yeah.
Oh, but hey, look, there's a smoke cloud. I can't see anything. Oh fuck, I can't see anything.
That's so funny. It's like, okay, on your wits. What the hell? What's going on?
Purpose.
Which is also means like, hey, Cobalt, take 2 steps to the left, take a step forward, and then drive your fist into the strongest uppercut you possibly can. Ken and Hunter are going to be work very well together. Midnight is going to be scary, especially once Hunter learns your guys' ultimate technique. But that's not going to come for later.
And you can only affect what you can see. Don't step into the shadows.
Yes. Hunter would be your natural enemy, Shale. Also, Midnight would also be honestly, like, most of the party would actually be very difficult for Shale to beat. Because the thing is, though, the key is, if they know how Shale's ability works. Usually, you're not going to know what your opponent's technique is if they have one. You have to figure out how it works and the rules for it in order to overcome them.
Yep.
But
I expect as part of the training is going to be probably sparring with Cobalt to get some general stuff.
Yes, like your ability is useless to if you can predict, but you can't get out of the way of the sword swinging at your head. It doesn't really do you much good now, does it?
No. I'm probably investing in a little bit. Probably going to invest in more evasion and integrity. Integrity is part of this.
Also, Shale, I am going to say for your ability, you can also predict what would happen outside of combat as well by looking at someone and watching them. You can kind of predict how they will respond to what you will do.
That makes sense.
Or what someone else in your general vicinity will do. Looks at the rest of the party. But oh, the funness I have planned for you babies.
Okay.
Oh dear.
It'll be fine. It will be fine. You'll be good.
Just checking. We're not getting back to the festival, are we?
Maybe. Could I have everyone make a dice roll for me?
What sort?
I'm looking real quick. I'm looking. I want to see. Oh God! I just looked at the Last Hope Scar, and I just saw Mafia Brussel.
Yes.
I mean, that was obvious. That was a given.
Yeah, that was basically based off of the little scene that when he was down doing his work.
Okay, so give me a moment. I'm just double checking the sheet real quick. Could everyone give me a body and body integrity roll? And I'll let you guys figure out the expertise you want to use. This is you're surviving the first day of training before you come back for the festival.
I think this makes sense to be innovation. He's working out how to survive.
Well,
Okay, so
that can't be right.
okay.
Body integrity. I'm gonna go with cunning.
I'm gonna go fight.
Damn, that would have been a good roll.
I went fight as well.
It's not fight. Hold up.
Not
Again.
fight.
No,
It's not
fight.
fight
Okay,
anymore.
never mind.
Okay,
never mind.
for
The
now,
expertise-
until the new update to the character sheet is done, just go proceed with how they were.
Okay.
I've already changed.
I built the
I mean, if you want to go with the new one now, that's fine.
I've been using.
We've
I've
got
been
a
using
few
Force Bowl,
changes
but
coming
not in
here
this case.
soon. We've got a few coming here soon. A few changes coming. We'll go over them all at once.
Okay. Okay, we'll just roll as is, and then then if I need it, that's okay. That's fine. I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, 2 successes.
If it's okay, I want to re-roll mine since from that conversation.
Sure.
If that's okay.
You have a willpower.
Yeah. You can use your willpower at any time.
Yeah.
You
could
Hunter will also use his willpower.
You can burn your soul charge to re-roll that 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll again. I'm gonna spend our willpower.
Oh, okay.
No, you can only spend 1 willpower per roll.
Oh, okay.
But there
do we
is
have
the
any-
chat re-rolls if people want
Oh
to
yeah,
look
we
at
had
it.
2 party rerolls too.
Yeah.
I'm
If that's
using
okay
my
for everyone then.
soul for...
Yeah, sure. We'll give you that.
Okay.
Everything is fine.
Okay, I got 6 then for me.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and add my soul pool to this one because I got 0. I still got 0. Wait, that didn't roll in the box.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, there we go.
Nice.
All right, so you all survived the training enough that you're not completely, basically bedbound by the time you finish your first day.
Yay.
Okay. So, are we doing more training, or are they allowing us to go? Finish what we were starting with Telo.
They would allow you to go back to Telo after they finish training you. Like, as the sky is getting ready to start darkening for the Eclipse Festival. They allow you to head back.
Okay.
So that you can experience it in town.
Nice.
So yes, you would be welcome to go back to the palace if you wish.
We have some things to discuss, some laws to go over, especially if they want to open trade with us.
And Telo is still in court on his throne. He is now eating some honey as you guys come in, and he waves one little paw to you guys. Welcome back! I hope everything went well.
Everything worked out.
Yeah. We're not dead.
We're not dead. That's one way of putting it. Maybe a little bruised. She loves her training. But we're all good.
That's good.
Anyways, you were wanting to work out trade.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go over the terms and conditions.
Okay. What do you want to talk about here?
First off, we take some exception to capital punishment.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not willing to trade with a country who would so readily end the lives of those they consider lesser.
Uh-huh.
No issue with that?
Not really.
Cool.
I can try. It's just like, what would we replace the laws with?
Hunter, what would be an acceptable replacement?
Admittedly, I do not have any idea.
Well, usually in most legal systems that don't have the death penalty, it's just life in prison.
Well,
the punishment should fit the crime. In the case of the
status.
Regardless of status, yes. It doesn't matter where their stance is. If all they did was fail to deliver a message, that should be
like forfeiture of some pay, and then that's it.
Little more than a slap on the wrist or something. Some dock pay, yeah. Doesn't matter if it was your message or someone else's.
They get pay?
Whatever version, like whatever they're compensated with, even if they're if it's goods or something, or even rations, they get less rations.
Well, when it comes to that, apparently, one of the reasons it was death is because the gray are really, really low and the emperor is the highest. So the difference is what led to such a vast punishment according to the rules when I looked into it.
change them.
Well,
A life is just as important, whether it's your life or a gray, as you call them.
Well, the changes can only happen when during the eclipse. Otherwise, we can't change the laws.
Well, then it seems we have a very tight window in which to operate.
I've already put an order over to the clergy in order to see about changing the laws while the eclipse is going on.
Then I think we can work out a trade agreement. Now, what would you like?
He claps his paws, and one of the soldiers brings a list over to you.
I'm guessing this list includes what they're willing to give and what they would like in return.
Yes, just basic trade goods and such.
Basic trade goods. Okay. Give it a look over. It all seems fair and good.
Yeah, nothing terrible here.
Cool. Yeah. I think we could trade that. The terms look agreeable. I'll let Hunter look it over first. But it looks good to me. Hand it over to Hunter.
Hunter will look it over, and probably more just making a show of looking it over, and otherwise just trusting Kin's judgment, and he makes it look like he's actually considering it but he just kind of approves.
That is exactly what was expected of Hunter. Because technically, Hunter gets final say on these issues, or not issues on these things.
On the deals.
All right.
Is there anything else that I can do?
Let's enjoy the festivities.
Agreed. It's a time we enjoyed ourselves a little bit.
Yes. So what would you guys like to do during the festival? As you can see, the sky is slowly starting to darken.
I don't know what is available to be done.
The streets are bright with people like dancing and singing, and you can see for like this moment, no one is no one seems to really care about caste or such at all. Everyone's just kind of enjoying themselves.
Oh, Cobalt, this is your chance to find that Rattata and have that drink.
How do you know about that drink?
I have my ways.
He's a detective. No.
I saw it in your head.
Is there a metagaming PG around here somewhere? I don't know.
Hello, darlings. Are you enjoying the festival?
Oh, there it is. That's it.
Hey, Domino.
We just call it Domino.
I mean, I will say Hunter is psychic type. telepathy is just part of the territory.
Get out of my head.
Come, everyone, let us make merry and enjoy ourselves in a most perfect fashion.
Yeah, and Brussel has business to take care of.
What is
I'll go
Brussel going to
enjoy-
do, Joe?
Have to get ready for transferring certain peoples.
Oh, have fun with that. Midnight's just gonna go enjoy the festival.
Kin takes a look out over the crowd and smiles. And, you know, this is real nice.
It is nice. Everyone's just kind of happy and just celebrating and enjoying themselves.
How is normal? This level of interaction between the casts of your city.
Oh no, not at all. This is the only time it can happen is during the eclipse. This is the one time Arceus allows us to change things.
You should change that.
Alright, let me... Isn't this beautiful, though? Isn't this something you would like to see on a regular basis? People being able to just be people with each other.
But without Arceus' divine wisdom, we wouldn't know where anyone belonged or what we were supposed to do. This is how things are supposed to be.
Oh, so we're not gonna take over the town, but we're going to silently manipulate the way things have run here for millennia.
Look at that. Everyone looks so happy. Don't you think this is what this would be what Arceus wants?
Well, I mean, they do look pretty happy, yeah, but that's not really a thing for me. That's something for the priests and such.
No.
You know, earlier,
Hunter's got...
if I may. Alright, go ahead. I suspect we may be on the same train of thought, but go ahead.
This world... It's a world of change. We evolve. We change shapes. We constantly are getting new ways that we can interact with the world. Why would our Arceus want to limit our ability to change and adapt? I know I've seen instances of Pokemon being born different from their peers to adapt and change to the present circumstances. Rules and laws should also be able to evolve.
What was that sound?
Somebody okay?
What was that?
Kerr?
I'm okay.
I think did that come over Toshime's mic?
Tochemay?
Tochemay?
What?
Hey, you.
Is he having a
Tochemay, you
laughing
alright?
Tochemay?
Tochemay?
Tochemay, do we need to call 911? Tochemay? Toshi, my boy, you all good?
I am
Merl is just worried right now.
I am legitimately getting very worried right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether or not they just had a stroke.
It sounded a little bit almost like laughter, but it was really hard to make out for sure if it was.
Yeah, I couldn't tell whether it was laughter or choking or something.
Yeah, it sounded like it was either laughter, or they were choking, or gasping for breath.
I'm gonna try calling him from my phone.
Yeah. Tochemay, you good? You there? You good?
Yeah.
What happened?
Tochemay?
Can't feel
Okay.
just
One sec. Everybody on stream, I'm gonna be muting us for a moment. I apologize. Alright, everybody. Thank you so much for your patience with us. We're still trying to determine what's going on. But that is it for The Last Hope Scar tonight. We're still going to be determining where we're going to go from here with the stream and such. Do check out our website, though, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, or phasing out Twitter, but so on and so forth. On the website, as well as down in the description below. thank you all so much for your support and your patience on this. Thank you for coming by and hanging out. I hope to see you all back here next time. We'll keep you all apprised as best we can, while also, of course, protecting privacy of the friend. But yeah, thank you, and I bid you all the most fondest adieu.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Stay safe.